Alright, what's happening? We're De Bello Gallico, Book 5, Chapter 44, Part 2 of this section. And we start off with an ablative absolute. And it really, I guess, just depends on how the grammar works out. But with a moderate distance having been left, and I'm just going to backtrack. So Varanus follows Polo in the battle, and it could apply to that. You know, it could just fall in line with, you know, just the distance there. But you've got Polo and Varanus, and they're battling for basically who's the top dog. Polo imitate his pilum, sends his javelin, his spear, into the enemies. And Traekit, and he pierces one. Unum ex multitudine, he pierces one of the multitude. Currentum, this EM is modifying that guy, and then this enti is a present active participle. He pierces one of the multitude running. Alright, and this quo here looks like a relative pronoun. It is, but it's basically, you know, referencing earlier, it's the Bray rule. And again, another ablative absolute. With that one having been struck, quo percusso et, and left senseless, made senseless. Alright, and this refers to the unum, the guy who was running and got struck. Protegant, hunk, they protect this one. Scutis with shields. Universi, all Kanyikian, all throw their tela, their weapons, their spears, in host them against the enemy. Nekoi and ne dant, and they do not give facultatem, the opportunity, the ability. And then we've got this gerund here of retreating. Or literally of returning. The shield of Polo. Date of possession. The shield of Polo, transfigator is pierced. And the Weratum. And the Weratum, and the javelin. Defigator is fixed in Balteo and his baldric. His belt. Alright, Hick is going with Casas. This misfortune, mishap. And then, so here's our nominative, but here's our verb and here's our accusative. Alright, so this misfortune turns away his sheath. And morator, and this guy's deponent. And delays the dextromonum. Now, alright, so the AM is feminine, monum is feminine. It's fourth declension though, so that's why. Delays the right hand. Okay, konanti. Dative of possession, and it's a present active participle. Delays the right hand of the one trying. Konanti of the one trying. Educere gladium. To draw out his sword. Alright, so he can't get the sword out of his sheath because, you know, the baldric sword belt, yeah, it was turned away from him, just because of somehow the javelin, you know, came at him in such a way that, yeah, it made that challenging and immensely difficult. And the hostes and the enemies, circumsistence, surround, impeditum, the hindered one. Alright. Inimicus is going to Varanus. And the Ili is dative in there, and it can be the direct object of Sakura. It can also be dative with a special adjective, Inimicus. So you could say Varanus, unfriendly to that one. Runs to help him. Sakura runs to help him. And some people say unfriendly, some people go with a rival. Runs to help him, or Varanus, unfriendly to that one. Runs up to him. And subvenet. Comes up to Laboranti, the one laboring or struggling. Alright, confessed him immediately. Omnis is going with multitudinum. The entire multitude. Convertit se. So nominative verb. Alright, that se is our accusative. Turns itself from Paulo. Ad hunc to this one. And the hunk goes to the one closest by it, so this is going to be Varanus. And then arbitranter is going to be our verb. They think that, and we're going to need an essay here to make this an indirect statement. They think that he, the Illo, was killed. Okisamese was killed. Rurato by the javelin. Alright, so we got one more section, and we're going to see how this plays out. But think about why Varanus, who is a rival to Polo, would actually want to help him. And we'll get more into that in the next section. But, just think about some of the reasons as to why it could be beneficial to him.